In this video, 6 hacks to improve your drawing and get better faster. Coming up. The first hack is to use black and white images instead of colored photos. You see, if you want to draw with pencil or with charcoal, you need to use a black and white reference photo. If you use pencil or charcoal to draw and you use a colored reference photo, it will be hard for you to judge the tones. You will not be able to know how dark or how light the area should be. And you know why? Because it is in color. So instead, you want to change the photo to black and white. And I do this all the time. I change my photos to black and white. And I use the Snapseed app to do this. I'll leave a link in the description where you can download it for Android and for iOS. But all you just have to do is to open the image, click Tools, then select black and white. Sometimes I can even go further and increase the contrast so that I'll be able to know the dark areas and also the white areas. The next hack is to use grid for your drawing. I know many people don't advise you to use grid when you want to draw. They always tell you to use freehand. They always tell you that using grid is cheating. But using grid is actually a very easy way for you to get your proportions very right. And to be honest, it takes your mind off the stress that freehand drawing gives you. You will not be worried whether you get the proportions very right, because you are using grid. You are sure that you get the proportions right. You'll be able to focus all your attention on shading. And I use the grid drawing app that's found on Google Play Store to be able to do my grid drawing. If you don't have a blending stump, you can simply use a cotton board or a Q-tip to blend your tones. You really don't need a blending stump to make your drawings look fabulous. A cotton board will do just fine. Still, if you don't have cotton board, fine. Grab a paper towel or a toilet paper and fold it so that it creates a pointy angle. Use that pointy part to blend your drawings. Do you find that you keep smudging your drawing? Simple. Put a paper under your palm. The paper will serve as protection and it will not allow oils in your hand to get to the paper. I alternate between using an A4 paper and using paper towel for this. But something I am even trying more recently is using plastic sheets or nylon to be able to demarcate my hand from the paper. In fact, I would even say that using a plastic sheet would be much better, because paper sometimes picks up some of the shading from your drawing. But use whatever you would like to use. Many artists recommend using a kneaded eraser, including me. You see, a kneaded eraser is a very great tool because it can mold into any form you like. I always love to use the kneaded eraser to create those shiny highlights in the hair and also the highlights in the eyes. But if you don't have a kneaded eraser, you don't have to sit and brood. You can take your regular eraser, cut the edge, and then use that sharp point to create the highlights in your hair and also in the eyes. Use that sharp point. If the sharp edge that you just cut gets dirty, you can use the knife to cut it again. But if your mind isn't just settled until you get that kneaded eraser, then check the description for a DIY method to make a kneaded eraser at home. Using a blending stump is nice and all, and using a cotton board can be a very nice replacement, but you can't use these tools to blend large areas. For one thing, if you use the cotton board or the blending stump to blend large areas, you would get some blotches. You get stop and start points in the drawing, and this will not look as smooth. Do this instead. When you are shading with graphite, use a tissue paper to blend large areas. I asked you guys on my Instagram to tell me what you think is the best tool to use to create smooth blending, and most of the answers were tissue paper. For example, Wania says that she always uses a tissue because it smoothens her drawing. Marika also mentioned that she prefers to use the tissue instead of the brush. All these are very good advice, and I would advise you to use the tissue paper when blending graphite. That is for large areas. But when it comes to charcoal, I don't like to use the tissue to actually blend large areas. The tissue can start to peel and it will not be strong enough to blend the charcoal. So I prefer to use this instead. This is just a simple sponge or foam whatever you want to call it. I simply cut this out of a mattress and then I use my scissors to shape it so that it looks like this form. It does a very great job at smoothing out my charcoal drawings, and you will find me using this tool in many of my videos. So these hacks will help make your drawing journey so much better, and you'll be able to improve much faster. Now do this. Check out the video on the screen right now. It will help you get better at drawing really fast. Watch that and I'll see you there.